Welcome back. It's
We're back.
Tuesday. Hey, Tuesdays. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I mean, this is going to be a fun little experiment. We're testing Twitter Live and YouTube Live at the same time.
It's all happening.
It's craziness.
All at once. So if you're on Twitter, welcome. If you have comments and you comment during the Twitter, we're going to pull that in. If you're on YouTube and you comment, we're going to pull that comment in too. Yeah. We're doing some tests, but I think this might be a dual stream where we're going to be always streaming to YouTube and Twitter if this works. Because let's be honest, those are the two big ones for us. We're not going to go over to Twitch, maybe down the road. But for now, I like where we're headed. It's November. It still feels like Halloween for me and eFlow. It was pretty brutal. We both got COVID. We were going through a lot of things, but we had Halloween, right? I had a good Halloween. Did you have a good Halloween?
We did have a good Halloween. Yeah, we did some trick-or-treating in our neighborhood, and yeah, it was a good time. I didn't dress up.
Didn't dress up?
No, I walk around and they say, "What are you?" And I'm just like, "I'm a middle-aged dad."
What are you?
What are you supposed to be? Middle-aged dad. Leave me alone.
Now,
I'm an alcoholic. That's what I'm trying to be.
Damn. Okay. Walking around with Edward 40 hands.
Exactly.
So here's somebody who won Halloween. I think we play a little bit of pickup baseball during the day on Halloween, and that's Forrest right there, trying to run out an infield single. Well, he's out, but he's Forrest Gump, so he don't stop. Goodbye, Forrest.
That's awesome.
I love how he keeps going, and then he runs behind the fence, hops it. He gone.
He's gone.
He gone. Well, that boy is a running fool.
That's perfect, though. That's so awesome.
I had to show it. I know Halloween is over, but it didn't make it to our last show, so I had to put that one on. And yeah, let's get my levels down a little bit here. Sorry for yelling at y'all here on this stream. We have a band. We hired a band to go live for us all the time now, and they're pretty awesome. Introducing the Hardfork Gaming CCO band. I'm digging this.
I am too.
It's got Cryptoad. I don't know what's going on there behind the toad. It's making me a little nervous.
You know, I'm sad to admit this, but I just kind of learned what CCO meant today. I'd heard it thrown around, but took the time to actually know what it means today for the first time.
Break it down for those who don't know.
So CC0 just basically means anybody can use these images for any reason. So even if you own the NFT, other people are still able to use the rights. It's Creative Commons, so these images, anybody could use them. The non-CCO typically means only the holder of it could use them for their various purposes. But CC0 means anybody can use it. So I could go and take that moonbird and use it as, my logo for something. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I'm not a lawyer.
Oh, you're not? Dude, that's why I brought you on the show. Yeah, my back. Yeah, CCO for me was what made me love cryptodes, and when I got into cryptodes last September. And for me, it was the beginning of an experiment where I was like, man, if I could own something where I own essentially every asset of that toad, and you can actually go to, I think it's like toadstools.com, and get the actual files of that PFP to use in different ways. And to me, it was just one of these experiments that really tapped into unlimited potential. And if this could go to the point where anyone in the world could take a toad and make a movie out of it and then becomes famous, well, then the toads themselves are going to blow up. And so I just love this like community chance to really take it to the next level. Now, toads, they shot all the way up to 14 ETH in October of last year. And now they are back down to about 1.5 ETH, maybe lower, as the market's crashing while we're live right now. I don't know how NFT market's doing, but the traditional market's hurting a little bit.
Yeah, today was not a good day. The big news, we're not going to get into this. We'll save that for other streams and other news sites. But the big news today was that FTX was struggling with liquidity. Binance and FTX were kind of talking some trash back and forth on Twitter. And then Binance stepped in and looks like they're purchasing FTX. So I believe some of the market issues that are going on right now might be related to FTX's liquidity issues. But yeah, it's a scary time. But we're in gaming. We're
in gaming. Who cares about election day? Who cares about all the politics and the markets? We're gamers, and gamers game.
When things get stressful, I play Valheim. When I'm having a good time and everything's going great, maybe I'll play some Valheim.
Speaking of Valheim, How's your Valheim going?
My Valheim's going good. I got stuck in the swamp. I actually died on day 125. I died in the swamp.
So you made it that long without dying first?
No. But I went like 100 days without dying and then died on day 125 in the swamp.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So a whole stretch there.
Yeah, there's a pretty big stretch. In fact, maybe I'll pop into Valheim and we can test how the game looks on the stream. I'll show you where I'm at real quick, and you can give me some quick tips, and then when I go home tonight, I'll go and crush some more swamp.
I'm just can't wait for the Mistlands. So I am in the most anticipation I've ever had for any game, waiting for the Mistlands update, which hopefully happens this month, but odds are it's going to happen next month, right before Christmas. Just guessing.
Yeah. I was actually, right before we got on this, I was watching a video about all of the updates that are coming in the Mistlands. And as I was watching it, Buff was like, old news.
I mean,
he gave me that. He went,
that's a month old.
So this is my mini base over by my, here, I'll even show you where the swamp is from here. So if I go up my little door, you see it? There's the swamp.
There's the swamp. Because of those skinny ass trees.
I have a little base right here opposite the swamp where I could come and I can, make my iron and stuff. But I can also run back to my main base and grab whatever I need to over at my main base.
I like how you stored underneath your house, too.
Yeah. This is my actual portal room here. So this is like a separate room in my main base area. Here's my main house. There's my portal base. There's my tower, so I can shoot trolls from my high tower. But you can see where a troll already took out part of my fence.
Oh, there's a perfect spot for a bridge.
Yeah, maybe I will put a bridge there. But yeah, that's what's going on in my Valheim game right now. I was playing it last night. The night before last, I stayed up until about 2 a.m. playing it, and then needed sleep after that. And I'll quickly show you before we get into this, because I don't want to get into a whole Valheim gaming stream all day today, which, if Buff lets me, I'll just keep on playing.
Why not? I mean, we're not getting sound. That's the only thing, and Valheim has amazing sound.
There, now you should be getting sound. I forgot to press the button that gives you sound.
You know, what a guy.
So now you should have sound. But if I show you my map here, you can see, day 120, I died right here. But I put a cross on it because I already got my stuff back. Here's my base. I have a swamp base right here, and this swamp base actually has chests full of iron in it, and I need to get to this swamp base, get my iron, and get it back to this base that I'm at right now to smelt it, and that's currently where I'm at in the game.
Did you ever hear the saying, whoever smelt it, dealt it?
Yeah. There, I put 2 pieces of wood in there. But that's all I'm going to show you on Valheim, because if I start going and like doing little tasks and stuff, then we'll be doing a 3-hour Valheim stream.
Nothing wrong with that. I've got over 550 hours, so I mean, the man needs to play. He hasn't gone through the full run through yet. You're only on the 3rd boss. If you guys no idea what Valheim is, it is a Viking game which you're stuck in a purgatory type of world. You get dropped off by a giant bird. You gotta survive. You gotta like essentially explore all the biomes.
Gotta figure out how to drive boats, which
it's like a realistic looking Minecraft as a Viking. I think eFlow's really broken that down to me, that they really follow the model with Valheim of how Minecraft scales.
Oh yeah, I play it with my kids, and my kids say that it reminds them if you took Minecraft and Breath of the Wild and just combined them, right? Because it's got the crafting of Minecraft where you got to chop down the trees and mine the rocks and build all the stuff, but then it's got the sort of same food system that you get in Breath of the Wild, and the same stamina where if you run out of stamina, and certain foods can help with that. And so it's got if you took those 2 games and combined them, that's the best way I can describe it. And the graphics are actually kind of similar to Breath of the Wild, honestly. So my kids love me watch. They love to watch me play this game. So I get to go home and play this for hours and hours and hours, and it keeps both me and my kids entertained because they don't let me stop.
Dude, I'm peanut butter and jealous that you got 2 kiddos that love gaming. Your wife games as well, and she puts up with all the gaming that you do. And you got yourself a good setup there, and I'm really glad to have you as a co-host here on Hard Fork Gaming, man. This is definitely
when I applied for the job description when I applied, the job description said must play Valheim, and I'm like, I don't know what Valheim is, but I'm gonna figure it out so that I can go work with Buff.
Yep.
So, I mean, it was a job. I'm just crashing my boat right now. I'm gonna get out of it before I break it.
That's my boat.
So, yeah, that's where I'm at in Valheim. I gotta figure out how to get to my swamp base over here and do it without dying, because I did it right. I decided it was a smart idea to build a base right in the middle of the swamp. And when I told Buff that I did that, he went, "That was a bad idea."
You know, it was a dangerous idea. I don't know if it's a bad idea, but
Well, it ended up leading to my death.
that's a bad idea.
So I'm going to go hide, and I'll go ahead and shut down on Valheim. I know there's some cool 3D virtual reality stuff that we wanted to dive into, too, and
Yeah.
I really don't want to
We're doing a test on Twitter right now, and I'm getting some little warnings, a little bit some things.
Well, should I keep on playing? You want me to?
No, we'll keep the show going. I might have to stop the Twitter though. So if you're watching in Twitter, all the millions of you that are watching the test, it may be cutting out. And so because it was the first time we were really doing it as a test, so I think what I'm gonna do is stop that one down, and we'll be able to review that and make sure we get it dialed in for next time. But we'll stay here with YouTube. We got a whole bunch of show here for you guys, and anybody on Twitter, head on over to your YouTube at Hard Fork Gaming, because the stream is stopping right now.
Right? Meow. Absolutely. Now, there's a whole bunch of news that's been coming out in the gaming space, and while Buff's doing that, I thought it might be cool to roll a little trailer. So, not too long ago, I actually made a video about a game called NFL Rivals, and they just dropped some gameplay footage. So, Buff, if you want to take my screen, I could go ahead and roll this footage of what NFL Rivals is going to look like.
Let's do it. Not hearing audio. There we go. Is this what Bryson was playing?
I don't know if this is playable yet, actually.
Oh.
But this game has like fantasy elements where you can actually collect your like you can see it's got the NFL logo in it, and you can actually like own your favorite players as NFTs somehow. So that looks cool. I mean, it kind of looks like maybe like an N64 era version of like a football game, maybe.
Yeah. NFL Blitz is what comes to mind. One of those arcade games where it was just constantly lighting people up and fumbling, grabbing the ball, and high stepping into the end zone. There's an arcade version of football, and yeah, that actually looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Good. I mean, I'm not gonna pretend like it looks like, you know, Madden 23 or anything, but the fact that you can own NFTs with your favorite players and then use those players, and you know, I don't know all the gameplay mechanics yet, but when I did do a breakdown on Hard Fork Gaming, so you can see my previous breakdown, and yeah, it looks fun, and I'm excited to see more sports stuff come to NFTs and NFT gaming, because you know, we both love games, but one of our favorite types of games is like, we love to play MLB The Show. I love playing the Madden games. Yeah. I love these sports games, and the idea of actually owning some of these players as NFTs that sounds really fun to me.
I got really into The Show, and then yeah, baseball hurts me. Like, I'm broken inside. Damn, Houston Astros won it this year. They kind of eliminated my Seattle Mariners, first time in 21 years that we have finally been in the playoffs. But I might play some in the off season, maybe right before, you know, April. I'm always so optimistic in April as spring you know, gets going and the team comes in. So baseball is, you know, we got some months to wait, but yeah, I might play some of the. If you are a baseball fan, I mean, I used to play. I can go all the way back to Nintendo. Bases Loaded too.
Oh yeah,
a whole season of that where I wrote down on a piece of paper.
I think it was a Nintendo game where you had like robots where they had rocket launcher arms that would shoot the baseball at you. Right? Was that like Robot League Baseball or something like that?
It almost feels like it was Mutant League Baseball, but I know that's not the case because they never did. Maybe they did one, but just not at Nintendo. But I remember that one, and I remember it at like pizza parlors.
Oh yeah,
in the arcade playing.
I think it was like a Neo Geo game or something. Right? Remember they had the arcade games that had like the 10 different games in one arcade, and it was like Neo Geo. Yeah. But I do have something I need to say. Very important. Very important.
Oh,
the Astros.
Okay. All right.
And they're stupid. Yeah.
I heard every single one of those. Oh, Jesus. Help me, Jesus. Speaking of tons of games, how about hundreds of games? There is a new award show called the Game 3 Award Show. Polka Starter Gaming is going to put on the Game 3 Awards. And we've got ourselves a trailer here I can roll for you so you guys can take a look on what is going on with the Game 3 Award Show.
Oh,
I like that little boop, boop, boop. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So we're over here on Twitter at the Polka Gamer Twitter account that posted this. And if you guys want to go ahead and they have not set the date yet. They haven't put the time out there that I know of. So if you want to follow them at Polka Starter GG, they're going to announce when this Game 3 award show is coming. And it'd be cool to follow. We'll keep in touch with them and see what they got going on. Speaking of what's going on, man, you have been busy over the weekend. You've been creating a lot of awesome, I don't know if y'all seen the thumbnail of this stream, but my man, Mr. eFlow, is making his presence known with some help. Now, I don't know if you outsource 30 people from the Philippines to do all your work for you, or you just don't sleep anymore, man. You gotta break it down. How are you creating all these amazing images of yourself and all these different scenes?
Oh, it's definitely the second one. I definitely don't sleep anymore. So I came across some YouTube videos recently about doing AI art. And I actually generated some AI art originally that wasn't my face. It had like, I plugged in like a wolf playing video games, or a wolf holding a game controller, and because my last name's Wolf, my username eFlow is just my last name reversed.
Just dox yourself.
I know, but it's okay. I think I'm pretty doxed already. So I was making a bunch of images of wolves and, like, you know, cats eating tacos and whatever random ideas my kids came up with, like, hey, make a picture of Zelda fighting Batman and stuff like that. So I was making a bunch of random images with my kids. And then I came across a YouTube video that was like, hey, did you know you can actually do that and put your own face into the AI image? And it took me down this rabbit hole. I learned about a tool called Stable Diffusion, a tool called Face Hugger, a tool called Google Dream Cloud or something like that, where you can actually use Google's processing power. So I can actually use computers on Google's server that uses their GPU power. So I can do it on an old crappy computer with internet access, tap into one of their good computers and use their graphics processing unit to actually generate the AI images. Now, there is a process to it. It took me about a good hour to train the AI on what my face looks like. You have to upload roughly 25 images, and then it spends an hour scanning all the images and figuring out what you look like. But once you've gone through that process of training the AI, you can then go and type anything you want, throw your name into it, and it will generate images using AI with your own face in it. And as you can see, I've got 224 items down here in the bottom left. So I was up till 2 a.m. one morning making a lot of these. Some of them were ideas from my kids. Some of them were random ideas I came up with. This one makes me look like Will Smith with a green face. But yeah, I've got tons and tons and tons of images. And my plan is I recorded the process when I was doing this, but the process was like an hour long. So I have like an hour video of me walking through how you actually do this. So I need to spend some time editing, cutting down the time, because there's a good like 30 minutes where it's just processing stuff in the background and you could just walk away from your computer while it does it. So I need to edit that video down, and I will share it on one of our future streams and actually walk you through the process of how to do it. But I thought it'd be fun on this stream to just kind of show you some of the types of images that it generated, and also talk a little bit about the downsides of it. It's not very good with logos. This was me trying to tell it to make me look like I'm on the San Diego Padres. That's what it thinks the Padres logo looks like.
Close enough.
Yeah, it really, really sucks with hands. So you'll notice in a lot of the images, my hands are like, what is going on with the hand there? But Yeah, this I think was me trying to look like Dr. Disrespect. And this is what it thought Dr. Disrespect looked like.
Dr. Disrespect security guard.
I know. And it looks European or something too. Like it looked like a British like police officer or something. This is me with like the style of like Goku or whatever from Dragon Ball Z. Some of them it doesn't really
all
look
free,
like
right?
100% free. There are tools out there that'll charge you $30-$50 to do this.
Yeah.
But the way I did it was actually a free tool.
Awesome. And you're going to edit up a kind of like a training video for this?
Oh yeah.
Sweet.
And
I'll wait until then.
I actually told it to draw pictures of me fighting a bear because it's, the bear market. And this one, it drew me with a bare hand. So now I can use something where I said, I did it with my bare hands. And I can show this picture where I got a bare hand.
That's good.
This one, it gave me a bear as part of my arm.
That's just too far.
This one is a 3-headed bear.
I've seen too much.
Here, let me just pull up some of the good ones.
So good.
So these are the ones of me trying to look like Rick and Morty. This one I think I said give me a robot body. And this is me in the style of Grand Theft Auto here. Some of these you'll see pop up as toasties.
Leonardo going with that dual one where there's like a top picture and a bottom picture of a guy right there.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like Leonardo DiCaprio.
And the funny thing is, I've actually had my hair this long in the past.
Dude, bring it back.
Oh, I tried it. It got rough.
I know. Right?
There's me as a Lego figure.
Oh, nice.
That's what it thinks I look like as Mega Man.
You look like one of the bosses Mega Man has to face.
This is what I would look like if I was a guy in Minecraft.
Okay.
Here's me as a minion.
There we go.
There's some really interesting ones though. This is me as if I was in Resident Evil. I don't know what kind of gun this is. It looks like yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I trust it. This one nailed my torso perfectly. Here's me as a guitar player, which I actually am a guitar player, so
that one's dope. That should be a poster. Frame it in your bathroom.
Oh hell yeah. This was my son's favorite. This was me as a Viking.
I think everything's dope except the horns on that one because it's like, wait, where are they coming out of?
Yeah, that is true.
Back of his head?
Yeah, it's a barrette or barrette or whatever they call them. Here's me. I plugged in me as a wizard, but then I also plugged in me as like Link. And this generated some real interesting ones as Link from Zelda. That's me as Link from Zelda, apparently. I kind of like that one.
That one's good. I like that one. That's my favorite so far.
And I don't like how it crops the head on some of them, too. This one, it gave me 3 arms. So I'm a 3-armed Link.
That's pretty trippy.
There we go.
That was pretty good, too.
I don't know what
so
that was.
Serious in that picture.
I don't remember what some of the prompts I used were. I think this one was me holding a remote control or a gaming controller on the beach.
I'm not seeing any of you smiling.
I know. It actually did not generate a lot with me smiling, unfortunately. I really like this one. I don't know why. I don't know what I'm holding. I think maybe a binder of some sort.
Looks like is that a binder or like a price gun?
Could be either. Could be either.
I'm ready to price things down.
I like this magic one because I actually think that looks like my face quite a bit when I was younger.
Yeah, man, I see it.
And then this one was one of the better ones of me on the beach with a controller, although I have kind of a troll face going on here. And then this is probably the best one.
Oh, yeah. It's you and your husband. Perfect.
Exactly. So a little story about AI. You can literally type anything into the AI generator and it will try to generate whatever you type. And so out of curiosity and out of immaturity, I just typed the word sex, just S-E-X, right? I'm like, I'm curious, what is it going to generate if I just type this? And I didn't put my face in it. I didn't put like Matt sex or anything or E-Flow sex. I just put the word sex, right? And it generated images that if I was to share them on the feed right now, we would probably get our YouTube account shut down. It was some of the most disturbing images I've ever seen. If you ever want to know what a real-life crypto dick butt looks like a realistic crypto dick butt, like a real human with a dick coming out of their butt, it generated that as one of the images for sex. Another image that it generated was like a naked lady, like all spread out, but she had no pupils, so her eyes were rolled back in her head, and her arms were like contorted, like from The Exorcist, and it looked like somebody had just murdered her. So, note to self, don't type sex into the automated, into the artificial intelligence image generator. It will haunt your nightmares for life.
Well, when I was a kid, my mom used to say, Buffalo, get your head out of the gutter. She didn't call me Buffalo back then, but we'll just pretend. Yeah. And now I can say, well, Mom, dude, computers are way more worse than we are. I mean, come on, look at what eFlow generated.
Oh my God, it was creepy. Yeah, yep. Oh, and the crypto dick butt, just in case you were wondering, uncircumcised.
Okay, wasn't wondering, but thanks for that.
I know you weren't wondering, but I thought you had to know.
Yeah. All right, I think we're ready to end this segment. Anything else that people need to do how do they get started? Where do you recommend right now before watching your video that's going to come out here in the next couple of days?
Yeah, so there is a URL. You could try to figure it out. I will share the video with you guys. I'm actually going to open my history, so hopefully there's nothing too bad in here. It's called Dream Booth Stable Diffusion. It's this long, crazy URL that, if you want to pause the recording of this stream and grab it, I guess you can. But you use this tool called, this is Google Dream Booth. This is the tool that allows you to use Google's processing power to process the images. And if you come over here on the left, there is a little table of contents that tries to walk you through step by step. But there are some settings that you need to tweak, and that's where my tutorial will come into play. But if you want to go to this URL that you see up here on the screen, feel free to go to that URL and try to figure it out. There are some other YouTube videos that break it down. The one that I watched was actually outdated. So some of the stuff it told me to do wasn't actually working, and it looked different. So I struggled a little bit, but eventually figured it out. But this is where you would do it. And again, it's like an hour-long process. I made a recording of it. I'm going to try to make that recording squeeze down to like a 5-6 minute recording that walks you through, and we will air that on the stream in the future. So that's the best step. You can go look up Dream Booth Stable Diffusion on YouTube, and there are other tutorials that exist already on it as well.
Dude, I can't wait to dive deeper into that, and I can't wait until our thumbnails of both of us dressed up as Nintendo characters.
Dude, I was watching a video this morning. Actually, last night I was watching a video with Hollis, my son, about how to import two different people's faces in and then make images with two people in AI. So we can put like eFlow and Buffalo fighting the bear, and it's both of us on either end punching a bear, or Buffalo and eFlow as
I love it.
Vikings in Valheim fighting the Elder, right? And it'll generate that kind of stuff for us. So that's going to be awesome.
Dude, I love it. I can't wait to get those thumbnails to that level. Hey, want to give a huge shout out to Dwayne Moffat. He just let us know that the Twitter works pretty good. Get a thumbs up for us. So we're going to try to continue both streaming on Twitter and on YouTube. We're going to be streaming at least Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, as much as we got to stream, depending on what's going on. But we're also going to be doing breaking news. We're going to be doing a lot of different things inside of the space. Sorry about that. Where we're going to be flexible. So if there's something big coming up, we're going to most likely be live at some point to break it down for you guys. Web3 space is small, it is just getting started. But if you see the vision like we do, highly recommend you go and subscribe to our Web3 Gamer. Subscribe today at hardfork.gg, or you can go to our Twitter. We've got a subscribe button right below our Twitter, right there at the top of the page. I love that Twitter does that now, where you can subscribe to a list and be in the know at all times. Like, I want to be in the know right now. Like, what is eFlow looking at? Oh, he's just, playing Midnight Society. Yeah. Oh, okay. It's good to know. That's how we want to get you in the know. Speaking of getting in the know, there's a trend happening, folks. I don't know if you know this, but it first started with emulators and ROMs. And then we started to see 3D games of our old favorite Nintendo games. And now we're seeing VR. So I want to roll a couple videos here to showcase what is happening in the space. This is Nintendo made from a 2D to a 3D model. And a guy worked on the whole first game to celebrate the 35-year anniversary of it. And it gives you a 3D play like you've never played before in Mario. And he worked on all the assets himself. And it was just amazing. And I was like, dude, that is so cool. And then I scrolled down Twitter maybe like 5 minutes later. Boom. I see a guy who put up a video of him playing The Legend of Zelda, which I just beat on an emulator, but he's playing it in the Oculus. He's playing it in VR. And this is just crazy, man. This is like, think of all your favorite old school games Would you play him in VR? Would you play Mega
Hell
Man?
yeah.
Would you play Legend of Zelda? Would you play? What's your favorite game back in the day from NES or Super Nintendo?
I mean, I mostly played real-time strategy, but like, Breath of the Wild is actually, or not Breath of the Wild, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, or
Right.
Link to the Past. I've been going through A Link to the Past a lot lately, and that would be fun to play in 3D if that was available.
Like, this is crazy. This is something where if you're looking at it right now, and I'll get myself off the screen to give you more of a look, this is a whole different experience. I mean, I just finished playing this game in a 2D mode, and I'm looking at this, and I'm like, oh, man.
So
Now-
this thing that we're looking at right now, is this like you can import existing game ROMs and it'll turn into 3D, or is this something that like somebody went and spent the time and made a 3D version of this game?
I'm guessing that people are making 3D versions of this game that display in VR. I don't know exactly where this is held. This was posted on YouTube. Just starting to dabble and see these trends. So I'm going to figure out where the hub is. There is a stream app that's called 3D NES where you can play 3D games just like I showed you earlier in the form of this, where you can kind of scroll around, and this is the 2D version. And then this is kind of the 3D version where you kind of can move your mouse and scroll around. I think
That
this
looks
is
like A
pretty
Link
dope.
to the Past right there, I think, isn't it?
No, this is a Legend of Zelda. Oh, actually,
okay.
maybe he did do both, but this is the original.
Gotcha.
Yeah, as you can see the starting point, and so he's worked on a couple different things. And then the VR version, I mean, I'm down to, honestly, I look at both and I go, oh, these are both really cool. And the VR version, I'll be honest, I get motion sickness at times. Valheim will get it to me when I'm in the dungeons. So I'm a little worried about roaming around in these dungeons and all the different traps. But this is what I'm talking about. It's like we see so many damn movies that are coming out that are just, the redone version of whatever. And sometimes it's cool because the graphics and the, everything about movies now can make an old movie look dope. But when you think about all these old school games and the fact that now we can play them in a different medium, like in a VR experience, I'm totally about this. And I can't wait to see this more polished because as you can see, the sword doesn't look all that right and everything. So I think that all of our old school favorite games from Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega, did you have a Dreamcast? I had a Dreamcast. Now, who out there had a Sega CD? Yeah, I'm one of those crazy cats that not only had one, I got another one after the first one died.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know why, but I was obsessed with the Sega CD for a minute. And then, of course, 64 and all the other consoles that are out now are the big ones. But those old school games, you don't have to think of them in 2D anymore. I think we're going to be playing all that in 3D and VR, and I can't wait to do more of playing some of my favorite ones.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. I mean, I know there's already a Minecraft in VR, and that already gets me, like, really excited.
That's what she said.
But had to use it. Had to do it.
Yeah,
but yeah, I've seen videos of people playing Minecraft in VR, and I know Minecraft is, like, all cubes and stuff. But look at what we're watching now, right? Like, this is all cubes and stuff. And when you've played Minecraft a lot, you build like these crazy worlds and these crazy buildings, and you explore, and you can get lost in it and get immersed in it. And after a little while, it starts to feel like you're in this real world. And same with Valheim. And I'm pretty sure I saw a video on YouTube recently of somebody playing Valheim in VR. So I think it already exists. Right. And if I could go into my Valheim world in VR, where I've already spent, 100+ hours building these worlds and building these huts and, building my little village and all of that kind of stuff, and wander around in VR, oof, that just, I won't tell you what just happened below the waist.
Clean up on aisle E flow. Oh, Grievous. Yeah, it's exciting. This is what I love about the future is, as gamers, me and you are both about the same age. And so we were born into the Nintendo age and the Super Nintendo age, and those were our first consoles. And then we had Sega and got to, really blow up with 64. And I'll never forget the day I screamed at my dad and swore that he's the worst dad ever as he drives back to Hollywood Video to drop off the rental of GoldenEye. I'm like, you son of a bitch, And
you really called your dad a son of a bitch?
I did, and sorry, because that's just my grandma I'm talking about now when I really think about it.
yeah, that's more of an insult to your grandma.
Yeah, but I was a little shit back then. I really liked my GoldenEye, and anyone who knows about GoldenEye and especially Mario Kart 64 and just like some of those addicting games, like the couch experience, the multiplayer couch experience of those days, I'll never forget it. It was priceless. And so I love the fact that all those games from back in the day on console are now having a chance to be repurposed in a different experience. So all about it. Can't wait until one day I just eat a pill and get to play Mega Man 2 in my dreams.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like that idea.
I don't know. I'm a little nervous on
So
that.
then all the gaming happens while we sleep, so it's not wasted time, and you don't get that gamer guilt. We'll save that for a different episode.
Yeah, another episode. We will be talking about gamer guilt. It is definitely something. It's a rabbit hole talk that if you suffer from gamer guilt or have ever had that, if your girlfriend or wife puts gamer guilt on you, or the government or anybody, including yourself. Well, we'll go into that on our next episode because I really feel like that's something we should talk about. So yeah, that's what I got right there for 3D and VR, man. It's going to be an experience that I look forward to. And Crypto Tutorials are talking about, yeah, VR motion sickness is brutal, and definitely don't want to experience that double whammy in Valheim.
Yeah, so if I do this, does that work? Ooh, it does work. I can actually add some stuff on the screen now too. Very cool. You know, so Deadrop, Midnight Society, they have a game Deadrop, and today, while we're streaming right now, they're actually revealing more gameplay footage. That's what you cut to. I actually wasn't able to play Deadrop, but that's what I cut to earlier was actually the footage of them playing right now. And so this is all new footage of Deadrop that nobody's seen. They're actually streaming live. They're showing the game off. I believe they're going to do an AMA. If you're not familiar with Deadrop right now, Deadrop is by a company called Midnight Society, and Midnight Society is Dr. Disrespect's game development company. So if there's any game company out there right now that's developing in Web3 that already has built-in cred, built-in streamers, built-in reach, man, Midnight Society and Deadrop are it, because once this game is in full public release, of course Dr. Disrespect is going to start playing his own game on stream and probably blow it the hell up, right? So this game, really, really excited about it. It looks like they're trying to make a kind of a cross between, you know, PUBG and Fortnite. It's first person, so it's not really Fortnite-y, but yeah, it looks amazing. Some of the other videos I've seen, they showed like a gun mounted up on the wall, and they walked up to the gun and looked at the gun closely, and the detail that was in the gun just looks so damn realistic, and they're just putting so much polish on this game. Like, you could tell these levels they're showing now are just not finished, right? This is like a Unreal Engine or Unity or whatever they're building it in, and this is just sort of some of the base textures that are there.
Right.
But this game, I think, is going to be a fun one that's, you know, could be another like Counter-Strike type game that really gets people going.
I'm a big fan of Dr. Disrespect. Huge shout out to Nifty Q, the Godfather Lad City, who introduced me to him. Right when I started streaming with him for NFT Live, he's like, dude, look into Dr. Disrespect. And I watched a documentary about it and just fell in love with the guy. The guy's legit. He truly loves gaming, and he loves gamers. And the persona he plays is, I mean, he's like Colbert with the commitment, right? He's all in on it. But he's also real human about it. He has heart and he's true passion, like a kid who's playing 64 on Christmas Day. Like, so I just love it. Like, and he's 6'8" like me. So hey,
every once in a while he breaks character, and those are some of like the best moments because he does it so rarely, and you're like, oh shit, he broke character. That's awesome. Yeah, and I mean, to Web3 gaming, right? There's been that kind of debate going on of like, Web2 gamers don't like Web3 gaming because we don't like crypto, and crypto is a scam, and blah 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 blah. But I think really for it to go more mainstream, you need some of these more legitimate gamers, streamers that people really take seriously to be playing Web3 games. I think that is going to be a big catalyst, is the people that the gamers are looking up to start, providing credibility towards some of these games.
Yeah. I mean, he's all in on this too. So his reputation is on the line on this. So, this is, maybe it might struggle out of the gate, but he's going to be all in on this for many years to come.
For sure.
Right. Because there's this whole rep. You can't just abandon this and that. So yeah, I'm really excited to follow in on this. Maybe one day Doc will come on to Hard Fork Gaming Live and chat with us. It will happen.
Maybe we'll go to him.
Yeah. We'll just challenge him to a standoff and then do an interview.
Get our asses kicked.
Yeah, I know. I can imagine what he would do to me if I try to play any game. Unless it was GoldenEye. Even then, he'd probably just phone me. He's the Doc. He's the Doc.
But so, does he have the same skills with an N64 controller? That's the question.
Yeah, right. Then isn't even playing, because he's got his whole. I can only imagine how he's macroed every one of his shortcuts and how he plays the games, and all that jazz. And 64 controller is a 64 controller, as we all know. It's the worst, weirdest controller ever designed in the history of controllers. but it also is unique and one of a kind. So
Yeah.
I kind of enjoy playing it. Well, Red On, maybe we'll come on back like Red Zone and check in on them when they're in the red zone. Until then, we're going to move away and would love to chat with you guys about another big game that's got some gameplay they dropped about 6 hours ago. And first off, they dropped that Combat is Coming, and we're talking about Champion Ascension, which is a game that has a lot of interesting things we're going to dive into here. To be honest with you, I haven't done too much research on it. I've only seen them kind of trending around on Twitter. And I think this image alone just shows they got the right vibe, right? You know, one of the little kids beating up on a little kid. Okay, I kind of like that. It's funny. And so we're gonna play some gameplay right now, or actually show you what they just dropped 6 hours ago. This is Champions Ascension's first gameplay drop in a while.
Let's go! Fight!
Nice. There we go. GM Champions, have we got something hyped to show you? That was the pre-alpha combat gameplay. Says, we're not sure about you, but we're never been more excited to get in this fight. This Thursday, combat drops. Well, hey, guess what? We're streaming on Thursday, so we're going to follow along and see how the initial launch of Champions Ascensions goes. Then it says, don't sleep on this Web3 fist fight that will change gaming forever.
Forever. It's interesting. We haven't seen a lot of fighting games yet in crypto. Everything seems to be either like first-person shooter type games, card games, or like resource management games.
Yeah.
I know Psyker was in the works.
Psyker,
We've talked
right.
about Psyker in the past, but that's not, there's not really much gameplay. You could kind of get in and there's some beta, but it's not really much there yet. So exciting to see more fighting games, because I was a big fan of fighting games, but I was never a big console fighting game person. I was always more of the arcade fighter. Like Mortal Kombat 3 in the arcade, I would dominate because I knew like Smoke. I knew all of his combos, and if I played you as Smoke, you're dead.
You're smoking.
I'm
Nice.
smoking.
Yeah.
So excited to see some fighters come out on this system, and now that I'm all dialed in, we're actually use a PlayStation style controller when I play. I feel like I can actually fight using fighting games on the computer.
I have a big announcement here that I think I should make right now, live on this stream. If you're watching right now, you're one of two people watching. And
we had 21 on Twitter, actually.
Yeah, actually, Twitter. And we're going to look back, and we're in test mode right now. So each stream we have, this is the best setup I've ever had as a live stream director. Quit working for Microsoft and all the bigwigs and decided to just stream in the space of NFTs. And right now, man, me and you at the hub here in California for Hard Fork Gaming headquarters, it is on like Donkey Kong wearing a thong and singing your favorite song. It is
and smoking
time,
a bong.
and then hitting that bong at 420. We are creating a new Discord. And there's nobody in it right now because it hasn't been created. But what we're about to do is we are going to, this month, have a PO app. So if you're watching these streams, you'll be able to download the PO app. And those who collect each issue, which right now we have Web3 Gamer issue for November, each month we'll have a new issue along with the new PO app. As you collect those PO apps, you will start to compile a ranking of whoever owns the most is going to be getting our first token drop for our token gated community, which will be forming in 2023. Now, this year, it is all about testing out. This year, it is all about creating a community from the ground up of real gamers. So if you love gaming, whether it's Nintendo, Sega CD, or any of your favorites, along with Web3, and you understand that the space is changing, gaming is changing forever, and you want to understand it all, but you also just love gaming, well, come on over to Hard Fork Gaming, sign up for Web3 Gamer, and the Discord is only going to be hand-picked people at the beginning as we compile a community of people that truly want to game. All the gaming content creators out there. We got Stash, we got Nifty Q, we've got Kagi on Rage Cage, we've got Bryson, we've got the Professor, we've got Jake from On-Chain Gaming. All of them are going to get an invite into our green room so that we can bring them onto the show at any time and play a game side by side with them. And we are also building right now, after the show, Eflo is going to grab a shovel and a jackhammer, and he's going to start building the Web3 arcade, which is going to allow anybody in our community to jump onto these shows with us right now and play a game side by side with us. Nobody else is doing this shit. We're changing Web3 gaming forever. We have high-end production standards, We also love gaming. So you put those two together, it's peanut butter and jelly time. Let's go. So can't wait for the new Discord to pop up, and we're going to get working on it right after the stream. So if you're watching this later, the best thing you can do is go ahead and sign up at hardfork.gg or on our Twitter to our Web3 Gamer issue, and you will be in the know more than anyone else. And hopefully, if you got the goods, we'll handpick you in to become one of our exclusive. Probably maybe 100 OGs to start. What are you thinking, Eflo?
Yeah, I think we'll probably have about 100 OGs in there to start. The Discord's going to be invite only in the beginning, but that's where those POAPs are going to come into play. That's how we're going to verify real people are coming into the Discord that are also watching our streams is through that POAP verification. So early on, we're going to keep it real small, real intimate, real classy, real cozy and warm, and
it's toasty, yeah.
Free drinks, open bar.
Open bar, dude.
I mean, if you want to claim one of your free drinks, you just walk over to your fridge, grab it, and it's yours for free.
Yeah. And, during the open bar, you'll be able to sit down and listen to the CCO band, which is still hanging out with us today here at Hard Fork Gaming Live on Tuesdays. Mm-hmm. It's a Tuesday. And up next, as we sit here and let the CCO band rock it out, what do we got up next, man? You got anything else? Have we gone through the rundown for the day?
I got one more trailer. I haven't even watched this yet, so this trailer could be a complete dud.
Oh, Doug.
Not Doug. I
haven't
have
seen
friends
him in a while.
named Doug. I like them, so I'm not like Doug isn't the new Karen or anything. No, but there's a game called Wag Me Defense that's coming out on Immutable X.
Okay.
And it's a tower defense game. So if you've ever played like Plants vs. Zombies, that's a tower defense game. There's a really fun game that I've played on my phone quite a bit that is a tower defense game that I forgot the name, but it's the type of game where you set up the towers, the little dudes march through, and you make sure the towers shoot at them. And so I got this Wag Me Defense trailer. This is a new game that's coming out that looks like it should be pretty fun. So let's take a look.
We thought we had peace. We had been through so much. And the carnage from the past was unimaginable.
I've been fighting for what feels like forever, trying to save what's left of my future. I've been fighting to save my whole existence. Sometimes it feels like a never-ending mission. We gotta save the population from total annihilation. And that's how I know that we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Yeah.
I've been zooming into spaceship. I'm going to outer space. Ain't nothing gonna stop me from battling the graves. Switching up the story, they digging their own grave. I'm in the battle, I'm knee deep, protecting all of this need feed. Roll high behind the DEFCON, powered by the X-Crime. Knock them down, tell them try again. I'm souped up, a Leviathan. I fought my demons, now I done had a revelation. It's on me and myself to fight off this whole invasion. All they wanna do is wipe out an entire population. Fine, let me at them, I'll send them all back to isolation. Thought we was weak, well they got the wrong information. Got the whole squad screaming, we're all gonna make it.
I've been fighting for what feels like forever, trying to save what's left.
I mean, it looks pretty cool. I love tower defense games because tower defense games to me are pretty much just puzzle games in disguise, right? They're puzzles that are made to look like battle games because you basically take your little units and you know which path the bad guys are going to march through, and if you place the units in just the right place, you'll make sure they take them out before they get to the other side of the. And to me, it's just a giant puzzle, right? Like you don't have to have those same quick reflexes that you have in fighters or shooters. You get to kind of think it through and map out how you want to defend your area. And I'm a big fan of puzzle games, so that to me is a really exciting looking one. But I didn't really see any gameplay footage there, which is kind of a bummer. That just looked like a cinematic trailer to me.
Yeah, and sometimes people can't tell the difference, and they're like, "Take my money," and it's like, they will. Let me tell you. So
but that was the first time I've watched that trailer too, and I was hoping there'd be some actual gameplay in there.
yeah, we'll have to keep our eye out for that. So we were talking earlier about the lottery, right? The Powerball lottery, 1.6 billion. And we're gonna end you on this for our stream today. What we've got here is Watcher.guru, great Twitter account for a lot of up news in the Web3 space. Says, fun fact, winner of 1.6 billion Powerball lottery will receive 492 million after taxes if cash option is chosen. And this, I just want to give a shout out to Arclegger here. Fun fact, whenever someone says fun fact, it's never a fun fact. It's really, I just want to give him a shout out for it. It's a good call. It's a good call. But this brings up a really good question that I would love to ask the audience. If you won 1.6 billion, would you take it all at once, 492, or for 30 years, would you get paid millions of dollars every month? Me and Niflo, we're both leaning towards that 30-year monthly. I mean,
yeah.
For me, I feel like if I had it all at once, there's a good chance I could screw it up, right? There's documentaries about lottery winners and the chances of them actually not being broke after a couple of years. It's slim to none, man. Most of them screw it up, so you can't really screw it up if the money keeps coming for 30 years, unless you like owe the mafia and then they get it every month.
Well, you can always go and buy the Thunder and move them back to Seattle. Was it the Thunder that went to Seattle?
The Sonics left to go become the Thunder.
Yeah.
Can't believe you're making me talk about this on stream.
Sorry.
Killed for less.
Sorry.
No, it's like I'm hoping that we get the Sonics back because they are the Thunder now. So the team itself, I believe, is still in Seattle as ghosts. And so they need humans to take form of the team, and we'll have the Seattle Supersonics by 2024.
I mean, that's what Seattle gets for killing all their players.
It happens, man. There's a lot of rain up there and a lot of coffee. Rain and coffee, death.
I'm with you, though. Like, typically, I think the advice is take the lump sum because then you can invest it better on your own. But if I'm getting $500 million and they're going to pay me whatever that figures out to, $10 million a month, I think I'd just do the $10 million a month and be fine.
Yeah, I think I could get by on that.
Yeah.
Maybe
And
not.
we would have we were talking about this too. We'd have the most badass recording, streaming setup on earth. Like, we would just have like a control center where, like, I don't think I'd do anything different if I had the money. Like, I would still want to game. I would still want to stream. I would still want to make content. I would probably still do the same stuff. I would just have the best system on planet. So
we're building them right now, man. We're going to get multiple cameras in here too, so I can cut and show you what we're working with here. I'm running 4 computers right now on this bad boy, man. I got 8 monitors. It's
crazy.
It's NASA.
And I've got a 3 monitor setup using 2 computers, a Go XLR, 2 Stream Decks, 2 mice, 2 keyboards. And I think mine is a crazy setup, and Buffalo's is twice as big with twice as many monitors.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
What she said.
Well, it looks like we're getting some comments here from Web3. Throw up your E's, 3 of them. Hopefully it's not a king sign I just did. Somebody's going to come beat up the Buffalo. But hey, we're getting a shout out for the CCO band. That's right. Let's hear some more from the CCO band as we're going to wrap up Tuesday's stream. If there was more, we would stick with you. And we're going to come back on Thursday with another stream around 11 a.m. Pacific, and we're going to go for a long time. And then Friday as well. Friday is going to be our crazy fun day where we're going to do just about everything with you guys. Looking forward for you guys to join us in the green room and the Web3 arcade. It is on like Donkey Kong, wearing a thong. And what was he smoking?
Smoking a big old bong.
He's smoking from the bong. There we go. So, all right. Iflo, you got anything else as we head on out of here?
You know, I just want everybody to have fun.
What a guy. On that note, appreciate everybody for being real in the space of Web3. We got a couple of you today. Hopefully we get a couple of you tomorrow that come on by and stick with us. Looking for some real gamers out there. If you're one of them, go ahead and subscribe to us at hardfork.gg. Until next stream, take it easy, you guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.